What we done started. Look at what we done started. This the people party.
Peace and love, party people. This is Talib Kweli, the BKMC, the MCEO, the Little Lebowski Urban Achiever. This is The People's Party, the world's best podcast. And as always, and as usual, I have my lovely and talented and thoughtful and thought-provoking best co-host in the podcast game. Give it up to Jasmin Leigh. What's up, Jasmin? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. There's too many people out there for me not to hear them claps. You know, I've been practicing my falsetto. I hope that's the correct term. Yes, so I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get a record deal.
You ready to get a record deal?
Oh, yeah.
You ready to sing?
Yeah.
You gonna do some jazz singing?
Mm-hmm. I mean, my name is Jazz.
That's right. See where I was going with it? Today's guest is someone you might want to meet if you plan on doing some jazz singing. Our guest today is both a new breed of musician, but he also feels old school. He is past, present, and future. This man is a singer, a musician. This man do everything, and he's not shy to tell you that he does everything. He's an incredible saxophone player. He has already given us a bunch of fantastic projects, the Pink Polo EP, Loose Thoughts, Studying Abroad, as well as his amazing album, Lady Lady, which has a very, very, very timeless quality to it. Pitchfork called that album, you know what? Fuck Pitchfork. I don't care what they had to say about this man's album. Let's skip the Pitchfork. Fuck Pitchfork.
He's going wrong.
Yeah, man. GQ called him a next level singer and saxophonist making jazz music cool again. But I'm sure he'll be the first to tell you that he's always been cool. Mm-hmm. And it's always been cool. This man calls his style of music trap house jazz. And we're going to get into that. You have heard legitimate hits like Tadow and Girls That Dance from this amazing artist. He doesn't care if he fits in what's on the radio. It's all about the vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Masego and A Place to Be.
Masego!
What up? What up?
Yeah!
Yes, how you feeling, man?
Good, man.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Look at those boots.
I love him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, his boots got buckles in case somebody try to steal them.
Drake's money.
Yeah, man.
He's protecting his ankles.
That's right. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. Y'all got me some tea. I feel real respected.
That's right. Thank you for coming to do this with us. It's good to see you.
Thank you, man.
I've been a fan of yours for a number of years, but we met at my man Paul Smith's Paulapalooza. Now, for people who don't know,
What a random first meet.
random, really random. Paul Smith is a good guy. He's a real estate guy in Austin, Texas, and he loves music. He loves my kind of music. He loves your kind of music. And he is the type of personable guy that he throws his own birthday party called Paulapalooza.
And as he should.
As he should. And Masego was performing. And I was performing.
Yeah, and we shared the stage.
We did. We did a song together.
That's what I'm telling my kids.
That's
Shout out to Paul Smith for hooking me up with my Masego meet. The first time I ever heard of you was due to my man Johnny. Shout out to Johnny, the promoter. He said, yo, do you want to go to this Ari Lennox show?
In New York?
In Los Angeles. And he goes, I said, okay, Ari Lennox, that's the Shea Butter Baby lady, right?
Yeah.
That's all I knew at that moment. He's like, yeah. I was like, I like that song. She's on Dreamville, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, I should check this out. So I went. I didn't go backstage. I didn't do the VIP. We walked in the front. I stood by the bar, sat by the bar and watched the show. And I got to say, the show blew me away. And the reason why the show blew me away is because what I saw Ari Lennox doing on that stage took me back to Black Lily and OK Player and what Bilal and Jill Scott and people. I was like, oh, okay, these people who are way younger than me, somehow this vibe is back.
Tapping in.
And I didn't know it was back. And she had filled the room. It was a big, huge room. And the people were all younger than me, but they looked like me. And I was like, how do I not know about this?
Yeah.
And then she's like, and I'm like, is she on Dreamville? How am I, like, I'm losing touch out here. And then she's like, so, you know, this producer, I work with this guy, he's incredible. He plays saxophone. I'm going to introduce you to Masego. And you came out and you blew that horn, bro. And I was like, wait a second. So
I remember this.
This is what we doing? We are featuring saxophone players again? I didn't know we could do that again. So tell me about that situation and Shea Butter Baby and Ari Lennox and that time in your life.
Man, I think it's cool because I got to see Ari from when she first started, I think, to what y'all see today. Because, I mean, she kind of just came in the studio like very shy and just like not having the, hey, know who I am energy, real humble, real cool.
Right.
And then she just started singing and her voice was like this big and then acted like it was just nothing. She'll talk about her breakfast that morning or someone that pissed her off, but with the largest, most beautiful voice. And I was like, who is this in the studio with me right now?
Right.
Right. So I think I was just with my producer friend, Kojo. She was in the studio. I'm in there and we're just doing the usual jam session thing. And I feel like the friendship started from there. I think the same way with Tadow. Like I don't really talk to people when I'm in the studio. I'm just like, we're musicians, let's make some music. And so I'm just making a beat and she's freestyling to it. And then that becomes the song Up Late. I'm playing my sax, she's freestyling about whatever, and then we just create the song very fast. And yeah, I don't know, it was just that type of unspoken respect where our talent was doing like most of those introductions.
Word.
And then, yeah, she just kept on glowing up, and then she got, went on vacation and got fit, and then just got the shoes, and then she just keep getting litter.
Herbie Hancock on my radio. Her musical knowledge is just deep.
Right, she's cold.
Her. Yeah,
I used to watch her on YouTube too.
Yeah.
Like doing like Erykah Badu covers, big afro, like all
yeah.
That. Yeah.
Super dope.
Love it. You told Talib you had some very exciting news to share about your trip to Alabama. And this is People's Party where we break exciting news. So what is it?
Well, no, I think I might have finished my album.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
When can we expect that? Oh, you got to catch it
It's a little
now.
fake money.
Okay. Oh, that was something else. All right.
He made it rain.
I got the wrong
No, I
reference.
saw it. I was like, she gonna dance.
It's cool. I'm old apparently now, so let's.
Yeah, 30 is a new 50 is what I told her.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of dancing,
Yeah.
trap house jazz. Describe what that means to you.
I think my creation is usually tied to the house that I'm in when I'm creating, right? I really absorb the room. So I think back in the days of Virginia, I would have a bunch of musicians over this like pretty much abandoned building. So we just called it the Trap House. And we would just have jam sessions there. And everyone there was from different walks of life, had different influences. And so that genre kind of, it needed a name. So I was like, this is just trap house jazz. Because I was always leading the jam session and I'm a saxophone player. But to this day, I'm always creating songs based off of who's in the room and then what the architecture in the room is like, the pictures, just the energy. So I love rooms, you know what I'm saying? So trap house jazz was more than a sound. It was kind of this environment I was trying to create.
Word.
Yeah.
Now, some of your music influence and inspiration has to come from the church because as K. Fox reminded me, you were a double PK.
Of course, she reminded you.
Which is a preacher's kid. You have two pastors for parents, right?
Wow.
So tell me about that experience and how it shaped you musically.
I think it's because I don't have two pastor parents that you're imagining. My parents weren't doing the whole like the robe and the Baptist and certain types of songs. We were a non-denominational church. So praise and worship had different types of music. You know, we were playing like J. Moss and Dietrich Haddon, and we were playing like C.C. Winans and just certain sounds I would hear early where you would think of like a Tyler Perry movie when you think of two pastor parents.
Okay.
That's what
That's a very
Tyler
specific
Perry.
reference.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Right. Early Tyler Perry, like a Tyler Perry play, not even a
to
movie.
mention-
oh, a play. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, but when I get around other like PKs, I'm not that churchy. Like I don't know how to do the thing and the won't he will and all that. It was just like, it was just little pieces of church, and we even had our church at this in the shopping center next to the barber shop, and the people that would come in the church were like what would kind of turn into my fans because it'd just be from all different walks of life, different ethnicities, and so I've always kind of catered to just the eclectic people,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know what a church kid looks or acts like because it was just
Right. I feel like church kids are always cognizant. I don't remember what song it's on, but you got a song where you're like, you talking about, you're excited about your career and you're like, I'm gonna go get a tattoo, but don't tell my mom. If my mom hears this, I'm gonna get a protector for my Bible.
Yeah, she will beat me. No, that's
That's
not playing.
crazy. I too am a PK, but I didn't grow up with. What? Oh, who is it? Okay,
No,
I
I
didn't
mean,
grow up with my
like-
father, so it's a little bit different. But he still preaches to this day.
That's why I wouldn't expect that.
Early in your career, when you're just putting stuff like singles
Yeah.
on SoundCloud or Spotify, you was talking your shit.
I'm honored you called it a career.
It's a career.
I was a kid.
It's a whole career.
Just releasing music on internet.
It's a whole career.
It's working.
But yeah, you were walking us through the journey. You're like, no, we gonna dance.
Yeah.
You weren't shy about being like, this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? The song, I do everything. You brag about being able to play every instrument. You're like, no, I really do everything. How did that happen? How did you become such a multi-instrumentalist?
It kind of happened on accident. I didn't like study Prince and study Stevie and Maxwell like people kind of assume. I was just trying to impress women. You know what I'm saying?
That's the same reason I started rapping.
Yeah, it was just
Shout
like...
out to wanting to impress women starting careers.
I'm about to say, like... I'm trying to, like, it's not much deeper than that. It's like, I'll see this young lady and I'm like asking my homies, like, yo, what's up with her? He's like, yo, she's always coming to such and such a show. He's a drummer. I said, bet, give me like a week.
Give me like a week.
Yeah, and so I'm just like, it was that. I'll be in high school, have a crush on her, and it's like, oh, she really loves Jamie Foxx right now. Oh, he the funny man that plays keys. I'm the funny man that plays keys.
I'm the funny man that plays keys.
Well, thanks for those ladies then.
Yeah, so I like wake up and it's like, oh, I play all the instruments. We got to freestyle about this.
Right.
That's all it is. You become self-aware and it's like, and I always love hip hop and I love braggadocious and I love just like flexing on a record, having fun. And so that's what I was doing.
I love I don't remember where I heard you say it, but you said something that struck me about hip hop. You said hip hop is, I'm paraphrasing, but the point you were getting at was hip hop is the big show. Hip hop is where everybody pays attention to everything. It's almost like if you're not involved in hip hop in the pop music world, you don't even matter, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, from traveling, right? When I would travel first on my like European tour, I would just see hip hop everywhere, like the influence. They're wearing certain people on their t-shirts. They're wearing their jeans a certain way and the caps. And so I'm like, if you're not participating in that, then it's not reaching the world. So that's what I kind of think about.
Word.
So on the end of I Do Everything, you say that you don't care about being on the radio. How does avoiding the radio hustle mean for promo?
I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if anyone hears it. Like, I'm very, like, me and my friends with it. So I'm very self-contained and, like, I'm already satisfied. Like, I don't expect anyone to hear the music. It's not for that. It's therapy for me.
Right.
So I think the jam sessions to the songs I create, it's just me getting something off. And so I don't put a lot of energy into promoting it and wanting to succeed with that because I don't want to put that pressure on my art. Because once it gets in the radio, now I got to win. Now I got to be number one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's not fun. I'm a kid.
It's like what Drake said about competition and comparing it to sports when he to a Grammy speech a couple years ago.
Yeah, I like that speech.
Yeah, he was like, we are not in it to compare stats or compete with each other. We should be uplifting each other.
Because it's hard to do that. As you were saying in your last interview, it was like, it's so subjective if you like my music or not, or if it succeeded, or if I impacted enough people. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if me playing this guitar impressed the woman I had a crush on, I'm done.
So refreshing to hear you say that. And me being a fan of yours was like a gateway for me to other artists.
It's a lot of friends of mine.
Yeah, because your songs, like I use Shazam a lot. And a song would come on and this kept happening. Like, what is that? I was Shazamming. Oh, it's Masego. Oh, it's another Masego joint. Well, who is this singing on this? Well, who's Alex Isley? Well, who's this person? Who's that? You know, I started tapping into this other, and I'm like, and it's the same thing about the Ari Lennox thing. It was like, there's all these kids who are doing this incredible music that don't give a fuck about the radio or about who hears it. And I feel honored to even know about it because me and Kay, we come from the same generation where the radio was so ubiquitous and such a behemoth that I feel like one of the reasons why people...
words, by the way, ubiquitous and behemoth.
I was like, whew.
I'm just happy I know what they mean.
Ubiquitous behemoth?
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's like the reason why Black Star, what I did, and the people around me is heralded as so revolutionary, is not because we were doing anything necessarily groundbreaking. We just had the courage to not care about the radio at that time, but it was hard. And I feel like for a lot of artists, even for myself in some instances, our growth was stunted at the point where the industry, because if you weren't trying to have a single on the radio in the fourth quarter to make money for the label, there was no shot for you. There was no SoundCloud. There was no community where you could go and get heard. And it's like, it's so refreshing to see people. You got a record with Kehlani.
Kehlani.
Exactly, her. right?
Hey.
Who's a very popular artist in the clubs and in the radio.
Facts.
But y'all got a record called I Hate the Club. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're looking at me like, you sure?
That's exactly.
No, but that record, I love that record. That record couldn't have been made when I came out. It could have, but no one would have cared.
I agree.
Because the club and the radio and that thing
They go hand in
was
hand.
so important. It's like the Funk Master Flex interview with Tyler, the Creator. When he's like, which is a fantastic interview for both of them. Because Tyler's like,
hilarious.
Flex is like, why did you go number one? Why are you being Cali? I never heard of you. You're not on the radio. You're not in the clubs. And Tyler's looking at him like, what are you talking about? I don't even care about that.
He has a
That's
whole
not even my
following.
world.
Yeah.
It was such an interesting dynamic to see.
I love his career, you
Yeah.
know, because I mean, I saw from him eating a roach on camera and doing just like that, like when you're talking about XXXTentacion, like you're just a kid just going viral for just being a kid doing whatever. And then it just got more and more mature and refined, and then a clothing line, and then a festival. I was like, I love he created his own world, and then it was like, it's so large, you have to recognize it.
And then you got people who come from this radio world where they're like, what am I not getting?
And he was just like, you just can't get it then.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
I look at him, I used to look at Childish Gambino, where he just had this like weird rap voice and just his whole persona that didn't fit the mold of what a rapper was. And then again, create his own world where it's like, I'm on TV now. You got to watch my show. I'm a part of culture. Like, I've created a world in a lane. And so, I mean, I definitely don't, I always understand that that's how it used to be, so I'm very thankful. Because I know, like, with SoundCloud and just the opportunities I have, it's different and rare. But I'm glad that I'm in this era so I can just build my own world.
Now, you were born in Kingston, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Jamaicans. Shout out to the immigrants. Raised in Virginia, Newport News area? Okay. Tell me about your immigrant experience. We support immigrant rights on this show. You know what I'm saying?
We're all immigrants.
Yeah, you know.
Technically.
I am not the guy to talk about this.
Like, nigga, I'm from Virginia.
Yeah, like,
Newport News, Virginia.
if I came here with the patois, then I'd be like, ask me. But like, yeah, man.
Do I look like I'm dressed from Cool Runnings?
Americanized.
Yeah, my father is like the one you should interview about
Okay.
that. Like, he was in the place they shot Shotters. Like, everything about him is gangster. Soccer
shower
player.
posse.
Yeah, like, he's the dude. The fact that he was
You
so
said soccer
that-
player?
Yeah, just all this,
love
like, just
soccer.
these big old strong legs, and he's just, you know what I'm saying? The fact that he was all that, I just kind of get to be a Yankee boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I go there, they'll be looking at me like, are you from here? And I'm just like, sorta.
Right.
My uncle Junior said that if you did not live in Jamaica, that you should not be claiming it. That's what he thinks. With all the generations. Shout out Uncle Junior, but that's what he
Hey,
said.
I lived in Jamaica for a month.
I don't
count?
think that suffice.
Okay.
But
Hey, man. so
you
it's what
gave
it is.
yourself the name Masego, and it means little blessing. And correct my pronunciation. Tswana.
Yeah.
Tswana.
Tswana. Perfect.
Yeah.
How did you come to that name?
I was in high school. I was like 16 years old. And the coolest kids in my school, to me, was Amadi Shai and Scoozy. And I was like, what are these names? And they did their like senior project on African culture. And then it inspired them to change their rap names to African names. So I'm looking up to these kids. I'm like, I want to be just like them. So I'm doing my senior project on African culture. So I look at my mother's side, I see South Africa, we're going to Johannesburg. I'm just researching. And then I go on the name chart and I see the M section meaning blessing, like Masego meaning blessing. And I was like, my nickname back then was Little Blessing because I was mean with the instruments bent. And so everyone was always, oh, they got a little blessing. So I
That's
was
a
like,
great name.
Now my name is going to be Masego.
That's beautiful. Shout out to Brenda and Perry Green for giving me an African name from birth that I was able to have.
That's just
You know what I'm saying? My brother's name is Jamal Kwame. I'm Talib Kweli. But I mean, I really respect and appreciate the fact that they gave me that name, that attribute.
Yeah, because
to be
you
able
walk
to,
different with a
That's
name.
exactly right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
I just
exactly
wanted to
right.
like not just be an artist, but like have something on my back. And the more that I succeed, the more South Africa's just proud to say, oh, I'm making y'all look good. And I like to do that because I
Shout
love
out
the
to
culture.
SA. Great place, one of my favorite places on the planet. So I had a bone to pick with Jazzy Jeff.
Ooh.
Because I've never been invited to the playlist retreat. Now, I know that I have, just from our relationship, because that's my homie.
Yeah.
I know that I can pull up, but I never got the invite.
You want to invite Jazzy Jeff? What's up?
Jazzy Jeff, what's up? So tell me about the wonderful playlist retreat and what goes down there and what you've been able to create there.
I love Jazzy Jeff, man. Like that's like my uncle to me. I think my first little hint of fame was this song called "Girls That Dance," and everyone was tweeting me. Thank you, I love that song. Like everyone was tweeting me that he was spinning it in Amsterdam, and at the time I didn't know what an Amsterdam was. Wow. Like I ain't know nothing, and so I'm just seeing all this sea of white people just going crazy to my song, and I was just DMing them back, showing some love. Like this is amazing. And then one thing leads to the other, and he invites me to his crib, and I'm just playing him my music and making him beats from scratch. And that turns into being invited to the playlist retreat. And it's just, the way that he'd made that retreat is how I approach my jam sessions now.
Right.
Because I spent the whole retreat trying to figure out what he wants from me. It's like, am I supposed to pay him? Does he want like a song? Like, I'm waiting for it. I was like, I ain't got no bread for you, so this is about to be real awkward. Like, he was feeding me. Like, his wife is like a chef. And I'm just like, yeah, I see this bill going up. I'm just like, yep, he about to kick me out. But he was just like pouring into me and wanting better music created in this whole ecosphere. And it was just people hanging out, sharing stories, and just like feeding that whole culture. And so, yeah, I mean, it just got better and better each year. Like, you would add on some like educational things with brands. This person would fly through with a story. This person would come through, and a lot of like mutant like musicians on these instruments.
Right.
I've never heard of them, but they were involved in certain records, and I'm just sitting back listening to them. So yeah, nowadays I just treat every session like it just doesn't matter.
Right.
Like, we're just jamming, we're hanging out, we're speaking, and stuff like Tadow comes out. Stuff like Queen Tings comes out. We're just not.
Shout out to Tiffany.
That's another cold
family
piece of
friend.
Yeah,
Tiffany Gouché. I knew her from when she was a teenager.
Really?
So I watched her. She actually came to I knew her as a teenager.
Yeah.
And then she started working on music, and we lost touch. And she came to Yellow Springs while Dave Chappelle was throwing things out in Yellow Springs.
Yeah.
And she's chilling with us, and she looked familiar to me, but she's grown up into a woman now. And she looked familiar, and we're talking. She's like, yeah, I've been at your house. I was, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, I'm Tiffany. She told me, I'm like, oh my God, that's you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's incredible.
Love Tiffany. She's so charismatic
Yeah.
too.
Queen Tings. J Period is a great DJ. He's a friend of the show, one of my good friends. He was at the playlist retreat.
Facts.
Y'all have created together. The song on his album, I don't know the name of it, but you're rapping about your basketball skills.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, gossip blogger.
Allegedly. Tell me about your
allegedly
love for
cross you up.
basketball. Because you was talking shit.
Yeah. I always do.
You always do.
I'm pretty cocky when it comes to a few things. But like, I don't know, as a kid, me and my pops built a court in my backyard. And I was sure I was the best shooter in the world. So like, I just grew up thinking I was the best nigga out.
Right.
And so when it came to like street ball, kids coming through the neighborhood, I love the way we approached it because we treated it like it was the NBA Finals. And I just love the energy of that. So at Jazzy Jeff's house, it'd be everybody, like, you know, the bald-headed cats that done played for years and they got all this experience. I'm talking trash to them. I'm talking trash to Will Smith. And I'm just like, I cook all y'all. I'm just like, for no reason.
Right.
And
my son is like that.
He's
by
a
the way.
Gemini.
Right, Deani? That's
Oh.
exactly how my son is.
I'm a textbook Gemini.
And
I lead with it. It's like,
My son is a Gemini. My
ahead
daughter's a
with it.
Gemini. My son is a, what's July 4th?
A Cancer.
oh,
That's my father's birthday.
I like that. Cancers cry when the sun
They
comes
cry
up.
a lot. When the sun comes up, you said?
Yeah, it's just like, another day.
I love you, Daddy. But you know, it's the truth.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's textbook Gemini. Like, I get it.
Now, did you create Navajo at the playlist retreat?
I was at Old Dominion University, I think.
Oh, so this is old.
Oh, this is years ago, yeah.
Right. Now, Drake has now taken Navajo and made it into champagne poetry, which is one of, I'm a fan of Drake, but that is one of my favorite Drake songs. In
That
recent
verse
years.
was cold.
Verse is
I
cold-blooded.
was excited when that came
That
on.
verse is cold-blooded.
Yeah.
That song is amazing. How do you feel about Navajo now as a part of the Drake universe, the Drakeaverse?
I love it, and I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether it happened or not, I'm still doing the same thing I do every day. But I thought it was dope because when I heard that they were sampling it and then they were doing it in respect to the culture already established from it, I thought that was really cool.
Word.
and my music getting into a larger audience, cool too. You know what I'm saying? And I love Drake's music. Like in college, I'm listening to all types of, you know, Drake mixtapes in the MySpace days. Like I love to do it.
Right.
So I was like, cool. But I mean, I have to remove my emotions because in the industry, it might not happen. And now I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta just not care.
Word. That's good. I feel it.
Simple equation. Yeah.
I feel it.
Bounce is dope.
You said Bounce is dope?
Yeah.
That was random. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He's like, you like that song?
I was like 18. I was like, how do I get girls to dance?
Bounce.
Well, your 18 mine was great. So Bounce is great. You're singing about Yamz. You now have another song that's literally called Yamz.
Finally.
What is it about you and Yamz? And do you have a Yamz recipe you want to share with us?
That is
a
hilarious.
recipe for the best yams.
Shout out to Devin Morrison.
Okay.
All right, let's start
I don't think
with
we need
that.
a recipe for the best yams.
I got that too. Chef Gun.
What did
Oh wait, my
Big
yams went back to the
what did
yams
Big
you were
Frida
singing
say?
about, and not the yams.
What
you
did Big
eat.
Frida say? She gonna make us booty popping potatoes.
Booty popping. Yes, booty popping potatoes. She invited us to New Orleans. For
A yam is a potato, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been a long debate.
root.
The difference
It's a
between
yam. It's a
sweet
root fruit.
potato and yams.
A root
Like, is it
vegetable.
the same vegetable?
Yeah.
Is it different? Like, sweet potato and yams has had like a long rivalry. There you go, Deani. They've had a long time rivalry.
Like beans and cornbread.
Exactly. No, I don't
We
know.
all thought you guys were talking about ass.
We are talking about ass. He is talking about ass.
Booty
in the song.
popping potatoes.
But literally.
No, he's okay. He's talking about ass. From that,
love
I'm
this.
asking him what his.
That was the eat a booty game.
Okay.
Eat a booty game.
You know what? I gotta go get my child, guys.
Yo,
All
that
right,
took
all right.
a turn.
Pick whatever you want.
So yams.
Yams.
Masego, yams.
So about them yams.
Devin Morrison was making a beat. Shout out to the producer of the song. God. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, no to all that. Anyway, yeah, so I'm on Instagram like ranting about my experience in South Africa because I'm like, these the bodies that they trying to pay to get. So I was just like flabbergasted. And I need some of
Yes,
the big words you had before. It was cacophony of ballyhooing.
Yes,
Mr.
I was verklempt.
I saw the yams and I was verklempt.
I was verklempt.
And I was just
Sounds
like,
painful.
huh. So yeah, I went straight to my phone like any like young cat. And I'm just like, yo, these yams are like,
Bussin'.
it's a Lamborghini out
It's a
here.
Lamborghini.
Like, I'm just doing what I'm doing. And so Devin sees this video and he's like, that's hilarious. Makes a beat called Yams, sends it to me. I'm like, this is mad funny.
Right.
And so he sends a verse, I send a verse, we're laughing about it. I think my roommate hears it and he's just like, yo, you gotta drop this every Thanksgiving, man. You Mariah Carey. Because every time, every year. And I'm like, yo, calm down. He's like, bro, you have to drop this. And I'm
Every
just like,
Thanksgiving for the yams record.
I don't know. We were just like
Can't
having
have my
fun,
turkey without
joking.
yams.
And I was like, oh, let's drop it. You know what I'm saying? A little troll that turned into like, huh,
Right. He was trolling us. That's
Well,
beautiful.
and here we are.
here we are.
Loose thoughts. That was a loose
After
thought.
yams, you're gonna talk about loose thoughts.
That was a
Come on,
loose
tell
thought.
it.
Okay. I gotta go back in my mind with these, man. I was young.
So Tadow was the first song I heard by you, but the first song that made me be like, I need to check for this guy
Okay.
was You Gonna Learn Some Jazz Today. Which is a very specific demand.
I'd be like, bang, bang, shoot, shoot in a zoot suit. You was like, this nigga here.
This nigga here.
Okay.
Yes, because you weren't afraid to embrace jazz.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard that in a long time. Now, Christian McBride, Nicholas Payton, these are jazz cats, you know what I'm saying, who are very good at what they do.
Yes, they are.
Nina Simone started saying, don't call my music jazz. And I don't know the exact history. I should probably look it up. I should probably have looked it up before I asked you this question. But I think that there's a history of black musicians who have said that jazz is dead and that they don't want, their music is genreless. The idea that you relegate me to the jazz space means you're disconnecting me from other music and other musicians and other black parts of black culture. So I wanted to get your take on that.
I like that. I don't care. But like, that was good though. I was like, ooh, I probably would have cared about that
Right.
one day. But yeah,
I probably would have cared about that one day.
Yeah, but it's just like it's so. Listen to what you want, man. I love my music. Like I think it's incredible.
Word.
And so that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I'm that cocky with it. Like if you never listen to it again, cool. If you are listening to it, thank you so much.
Yes.
Like you're paying my bills, you're letting me travel, all that's cool. But like I'm not sensitive if you think jazz is dead. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I like that answer, and I'm not going to speak for these people, but what I would think that they mean is that not that the craft of what y'all do is dead, but just I get it. It's the same pushback that maybe
Hip-hop
conscious
is dead.
rappers or underground rappers have.
Yeah.
Like, don't call me that, even though you are that,
But it's like, how am
because
I
you don't
gonna
want to be
stop
boxed
you?
in.
How am I gonna stop you from saying jazz is dead? I'm gonna pull up on you and start like hitting you with my saxophone. Just like jazz, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's like, are we a gang now? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, what am I gonna do to stop you?
Right. And it's like when Nas said hip hop is dead and niggas got offended.
Ooh, I bet they did.
Niggas got offended because niggas took it personal.
As they should have.
Yeah, niggas, hit dog will holler. Yeah. Let's go back to VA. We're gonna talk about
dog will
shorties from VA.
Yeah.
Because you talk about shorties from VA on the song Disconnected.
Wow, why are you doing this?
Because I'm good at my job.
I gotta think back to people. Who was I dating?
He's as if he's so old. He's like, man, that was when I was.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
that's pre-tattoos.
pre-tattoos, right? Now, the drums on that record, the swing of that record feels like Jay Dilla to me.
Ooh.
Is that accurate?
Isn't it interesting? I know nothing about nothing. You know,
Interesting.
I didn't study anything because I wasn't allowed to because of the PK.
Right.
So I started hip hop discovery at age 18. You know what I'm saying? How much did I miss? Even to this day, I'm just like, really, that song is amazing.
I'm
So,
going to send you some Dilla.
Please.
Yeah,
People send me
definitely.
playlists all the time. I love to educate myself, but like I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, this feels good. These women are reacting to it.
There
We
you
shall
go with the
continue.
women reacting. I
They
feel
make
that.
the rules.
Dilla, Jay Dilla, rest in peace to Jay Dilla. There's a book out called Dilla Time right now.
Which I bought.
Okay.
Oh no, nowadays I'm getting
Now
up
you
there.
on it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about Dilla and Slum Village is hilarious because, they're considered conscious underground hip hop.
Okay.
But these is niggas from Detroit. These is the D. These niggas was doing Errol Flynn and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jay Dilla always, when he was alive, pushed back against this because the music that they're making is so good.
Yeah.
And it feels so warm and inviting that you don't realize they're rapping about menage a trois. And they're rapping about strip
Tucking it.
clubs. And they're like in the Slum Village, what's up with the three screw? That's the type of shit the niggas is saying.
I love it.
And so Dilla is like, I make my music for strip clubs and for Jeeps. Wow. But now people associate Jay Dilla music with like lo-fi chill beats, which pisses me the fuck off.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, from what I've learned in my time of studying, it's like slick talk, you could hide a lot of things. You can hide a lot through melody. And then, I don't know when it happened, but everyone was just like, you guys are this. You guys are the good rappers. These are the bad rappers.
Right.
It's like, y'all are doing good things. Like, they're all doing the same things.
Oh, yeah.
They're all doing the
Just has a
same.
bow on it.
As
Yeah.
a famous rapper I went on tour once told me, all the prophets have hoes.
I mean, the preachers is out here digging down more people than the rappers. If you would really get into it,
I'm not getting into it.
or
Yeah. Dicking down is the
Okay.
dickening. The great dickening.
the dicking. Add some more dicks to it.
More dicks.
You know, this needs more dicks.
Inside joke.
Hopefully,
That's
our interviews go in
wild.
order
Yeah.
so people can.
No.
All right, white
But
man.
hold on. I did want to ask
Oh, okay.
about, because this song is very specific. The lyrics are about how social media affects self-image. And this song, Disconnected, right? So in what ways do you think social media can be the most harmful?
Ooh. I've hated social media for like years. I think it started with Snapchat. Because I used to DJ in college, and I remember when people stopped partying and started showing people they were partying. And it would just piss me off. I'm just like, you made everybody want to get here, they get here, and then everyone's trying to get more people here. And so I just became this little grumpy old man about technology and phones. And then it's tricky because it's also helpful.
Yeah.
You know?
It's
if
a
you're
gift and a
using it
curse.
right. Yeah, so it's a tricky thing. But I think in terms of self-image, I mean, back to the Africa thing, it was like, these are the women that they're paying to look like. I saw it. I was like, yo, I've seen this body on somebody else, but it don't move the same.
The hot and tot.
Say
You know
that.
what that is?
Say that. It don't move the same.
Nah, like
Hot
I-
and tot.
difference.
I think she was from South Africa. Black woman that was essentially kidnapped, brought to London, and rolled out there like a zoo. Like you'd go see this woman because of the shape of her ass. And they could not believe it. Yeah. And this was like a thing that rich people in London used to do back in the days.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
It's just, social media is crazy for that, especially nowadays. I love that there's a lot of like fitness people that are showing what their bodies look like after having kids.
Yeah, I like that too.
You know what
I'm
saying?
Postpartum bodies.
Yeah, I was saying that like we're like the right angle, the abs look tight, but she's like, look, it do this too. I think that's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Too. So I like seeing more of that. I like to take off the filters every now and again. So it's like, yo, this is what person's skin look like. It's okay. But I feel like people really think people are their Instagram selves. And I'm like, it's shocking to me. So I'm like, you got to go outside more.
Yeah, man, social media could be a terrible drug.
But them twerk videos be hitting.
I didn't hear you say what?
I said your next point. I can't wait to hear it.
No, that's not fair now. That's not
fair.
The
mic picked it up. You just have to hear it when we watch it.
I'll watch it on the show. All right. White Man is a brave song. White people don't like to be reminded that they're white, and they like to stand
Steve,
away.
is that true?
Is it true? Bramucci?
Steve Bramucci, the white Steve. Is that true?
The white Steve is how we... or as some people just say, Steve. Anyway, they want to stand away from the legacy of racism as often as possible. So what is behind the inspiration of that song?
I think that was my first run-in with taxes. I was
just white man. I'm sorry. It sounds like the Brother Baines speech from Malcolm X. Have you ever met a white man that wasn't evil to you? I had to think. This one tried to take taxes from me.
That wasn't evil to you. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, at that time, it was the start of the money issues. I felt like people were very transactional in my life, and then when I was looking up, all of them were white. You know what I'm saying? The ones giving me the opportunities, it was just a lot of energy I didn't like. Why are you trying to take these checks from me? That's what the first line was. And yeah, I was just going through some of that typical racism thing where they're, belittling me here, or they think that if I'm a jazz musician, I'm like playing for like scraps in the street, and I'm like, all right. And then the whole, you go into the Gucci store or whatever famous store, and they're like trailing you the whole time. Like I went through all that, and I feel like I felt a way about it. And I didn't respond with okay, now I'm gonna spend 30 G's here just to prove to you. I'm just like, I'm about to go invest this in something black.
They didn't have your sparkling water?
I like that.
All right. It's like, come on, man. Fluff my ego a little bit. Right. I'm about to buy these stupid shoelaces for $2,000. It's like, golly.
You're buying $2,000 shoelaces. But I like that. I like that you said, I like that. I like that you said that I was like, I'm going to invest in something black. I like that.
Well, I just go with who treats me nice. You know what I'm saying? I go where the love at. So at the end of the day, when I first started my music, I'm looking at the stats. I'm seeing who's showing the love, who's commenting, who's saying that they're understanding what I'm saying. I'm going there.
That's right.
If the check's not even right, I'm going there just to give the love. And I think that's why I did a lot of touring. I think the touring is what made my sound, my energy, because I was always following that. And I feel like I got a different opinion of white people because I'm going over here and they're the ones in the crowd. I'm in Copenhagen. I thought they invented white people there. It's the tall, blue-eyed white.
Oh, they did. That's the white people Hitler was trying to get at.
Everybody to look like.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sure there's some history, but I was like, golly, everybody look like an H&M model in this joint. But like, yeah, I was just like, there's so many different people I met through travel where that song kind of, I grew from it. But at the time, I was definitely feeling away about a lot of things.
No doubt. It's a brave song. Thank you for making it.
No one's ever called me brave for something. That's hilarious.
It's a brave.
You're welcome.
You're so brave for getting in the booth and just
saying white man. Right. Exactly. Which is, that shouldn't be brave. In a perfect world, that should be regular. But in this world, that's brave.
You making me sound real cool.
Lady is an amazing project.
Thank you.
I mean, you really showed your ass on that project.
Oh my goodness.
And Lavish Lullaby is super special.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, Prone is just fucking crazy. The title track, I feel like, best exemplifies your sort of free-form style. Starts out very mature with Silk. It's like, it's some maturation going on here. You know?
Yeah.
I Had a Vision is great. Shout out to Aaliyah. You talk about clearing samples.
And Silk was Ari Lennox freestyling.
Okay.
Yeah, she came in that day pissed about something that turned into one of those grandpa songs, I think. But she just started the session with just like freestyle. She sounded like a mermaid or something. It's crazy.
No doubt. Now, one of the records that I Shazammed and then I realized it was you, it's Old Age.
Ooh. I made that after a Cat Williams show.
Which is why it's funny.
Yeah.
It's full of jokes.
Bro.
That's a trolling song.
I think most of mine are.
Okay, you trolling us. Okay. Now, this is a little sensitive topic.
Let's do it.
All right. The lyrics. Wise man said age ain't nothing but a number. I feel like you're taking the R. Kelly Aaliyah thing and flipping it and bouncing it because he went the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? And y'all like, no, we're going the other direction.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the anti R. Kelly song almost. It's like it's taking the R. Kelly lyric and flipping it for the Me Too generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like there's so much negativity with artists that I'm like, man, they're dope. So it's like I want to be able to take some of these melodies and these cadences and these phrases and just give it a better energy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, man, I can't listen to Step in the Name of Love no more.
No.
You done ruined the wedding.
Yeah, he ruined it. I remember the
They got
day.
wobble wobble and stuff now. You be good.
Now I remember the day that I made the decision because I was DJing and Step in the Name of Love was one of my go-tos.
That's a joint.
And I remember and it was Step in the Name of Love and Ignition remix. And I was like, I remember thinking like, fuck, these songs are good. But I was like, nope, I'm not playing these songs anymore. And it felt good.
That's tough to do, but
It
I feel
felt good.
Yeah.
Man, we were at a lesbian festival and they were playing R. Kelly, and all the women are just like, boo! Like, what the freak is wrong with you? Why are you playing this?
Now, I will say I have to qualify. I stopped playing these songs long before the P tapes. You know what I'm saying? But I did stop. I stopped playing them just with the rumors. Then they had the evidence. I'm like, I'm sure glad I stopped playing them songs.
I'm sure glad.
Yeah, man. It's like
Now, I said to you earlier, like one of the best pieces of music I've heard in recent memory is Black Love. I mean, this song almost made me shed a tear. I felt like the song captures what Black Love is supposed to feel like to me. I have a song called Black Love. Lady London has a song called Black Love.
Lady London, fire.
Papoose has a song called Black Love. It's a reoccurring theme in Black music, but your version is just necessary. Can you tell me the process of what went behind making that song?
Yeah, that was very intentional on that one. I was on a train to go on the first date with this woman I was really, really into. Like, very, very into her. And so on the train, I'm just listening to Shantae Can, Find Your Way to Love with the jazz specs. And I'm just, the way it sounded was like, it felt like pure love. It felt like Nat King Cole type of love. You know what I'm saying?
It was a big influence on you.
Oh, I love that dude. He's a smooth cat. And so I was like, man, I want what I'm about to like go to feel like this song. So I'm just making a beat on the train and I'm writing to it, just going through it like that. And as soon as I arrive, the song is done. And so I send it to my friend and he finishes it. And then my mom hears it. She's crying. I'm just like, that's
Shed
crazy.
a tear, right?
Yeah, I was like, that's beautiful. Because I mean, it came from a very pure place. Because like with the way that my mind goes, like I can go there as if it was my wedding day. Like I felt that way when I was.
I'm just welling up as I hear it, like.
Yeah, I was serious. Like I really was like in love with that girl.
This is such a, and it's like the free form. It's like this is a piece of music where we're just gonna enjoy this piece of music. It's not overthought.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. It's fucking pretty. Are you familiar with Omar, singer from London? That song reminds me of his music.
Omar.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you some. What's the Omar record? Nothing else like this. There's nothing like this. Not even remotely. I'm the only one.
I don't know if you're singing it right.
I'm the only one.
The choir to come in.
I'm the only one who knows Omar.
He was like,
shame
if
on
you sing
all
the
of
song,
you.
sing along. If you know
Shame
the song,
on
sing
all
along.
of you.
I'm ready for you to go with
Y'all done left my mans in the dust.
That was one of his.
I wanted to sing along.
Hey,
I
I
was
did
gonna
Next
say
time we
I
hook
did
up, I'm gonna
too.
send you the song.
for sure.
Now, Tadow is such a. It's like Tadow is like a phenomenon. Black Love into Tadow is one of the best moments, I think,
appreciate
album wise. There's the extended version of the song and main version of the song. Did you understand how powerful that record was going to be as you were making it?
No, not at all. Because I feel like when I went to Paris, that was the first time. So I'm excited about that. I'm on the plane there watching Fresh Prince like episodes the whole flight. And so I just have this good energy to me. I go in the studio. He's not speaking really good English. So I'm like, let's just play our instruments. And so as I'm meeting him, like getting to know him, we're making the song.
This
FKJ.
FKJ, right?
Yeah. So it's like, it was just casual. You know what I'm saying?
Your
like
language was the music.
Yeah, and it was very like, nice to meet you. Here's a chord. And it was just like, oh, that's cool. We're just kind of vibing. And so I think of everything just real lighthearted. It's like, that was cool. I felt good. Let's do another one. So we did 10 more. And then I think we lost the project files to the other 10.
Wow.
So I'm on the plane pissed. I'm just like, suck, man. I hate Paris. And then like, yo, Tadow was kind of cool. I'm just like, oh, I hate that too. And so once I like calmed down from the evil Gemini-ness, I'm like, that song is delightful. We should play it.
Delightful.
Cool.
Delightful.
But I didn't think it was going to do what it did at all.
It's like a global phenomenon.
I wouldn't have predicted that.
That's like early 90s slang. What made you go that direction?
Will Smith.
Okay.
Because remember the episode, he was just like, when he slept with Janice and he was telling Phil, he was just like, yeah, it was just one thing led to the other and then Tadow. So I was like, oh, the unexplainable. You ain't trying to say it. You're trying to keep it smooth.
Okay.
And so I'm freestyling, so that's the last thing in my mind. So, I mean, that's it.
Before we go on, can we just like give it up for K Fox, because your interviewing skills are just phenomenal, and we know we have your media coach here in the building. Just got to give another flower, because I'm just like, yo, you're killing it.
K5.
So, Masego is so well traveled.
Yeah.
That you made a song called Well Traveled.
More flexing, man.
You like that, right? And it's on an album called Studying Abroad, which is an amazing album. You have a record called Passport. Everybody, especially people of color, get your passport. Speaking Japanese, it's crazy. So tell me how important travel is to you, especially international travel.
I mean, again, I think it made me who I am. You know what I'm saying? I feel like what I gleaned from certain cultures, what I discovered.
There's a good one.
That's a decent one.
Yeah,
glean, Bible word. But like what I learned about myself in other places, you know what I'm saying? How I acted with my friends in other countries. Like I just learned a lot about myself. You know what I mean? So I feel like since I didn't finish school, that was kind of the rest of my schooling.
I feel the same way.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way.
I be learning more from like drivers than classroom. They're like, I just learned about Turkish history on the way here. This dude was like, yeah, all these facts. And so that gets put back into the music eventually.
Word.
I put my do not to talk to me on my Ubers. But
I don't want to learn shit. Fuck
I'm
that.
deaf. Just keep it
low
going.
key would just let us know it's Uber Black.
Low key.
Yeah,
High key.
That was subtle. She was like, yeah, you don't get that choice with the Uber pools and the lifts and all that. That's good.
Are you saying I ride Uber pool?
No, you ride Uber Black, obviously. You say you got a choice, bags or no bags. Like, that's cool.
Yeah, man. Uber pool is back in my heyday, though. Back in my day, I did do the Uber pool. But I hated doing it because I hate being in a car with other broke people that make bad decisions. Because, I mean...
Golly.
Whoa.
Was Uber pool ever a smart idea?
She sound like the mayor of New York. What's going on?
You sound like the mayor of New
She's
York.
like Eric Adams.
Golly.
Silver Tongue Devil, produced by Izzy Beats. You got Shanisa, got the Jamaican African vibe going on. That was a great song. What can you tell us about putting that one together?
I was distracted because I thought that was a house arrest ankle monitor. You got to read that again.
I kill people. Stop fucking with me.
I was like, yo.
This is work release.
Yeah. I was like, can't be.
It's all right. My parole officer's over there.
Look, okay, I went to the White House when Obama was in the White House, and there was a meeting with all the rappers.
Yeah.
And we all have a meeting talking about criminal justice reform, and then we start hearing a beep, beep.
No.
And Obama's like, what's that? And Rick Ross, I shit you not, was like, oh, I'm sorry, this is my ankle monitor. I'm sorry.
And then he said, Rose.
Real story.
So cool. It's just so cool.
I was just chilling with Obama, and then Rick Ross's ankle monitor beat.
He was real cool with that, the start of it, too. He was like, yeah. So it's me, Oprah, Dave Chappelle, and Barack.
Oprah, Dave Chappelle.
So, I'm sorry, your question that
just
was so eloquent.
Just walk me through the creation of
Silver Tongue Devil, you
Silver
said?
Tongue Devil, yeah.
Silver.
Okay, so we got to start with Izzy. Yo, Izzy,
Izzy
are you
Beats.
kidding me? Crazy. He sent me a pack of beats, and then I used one of them to make like a happy birthday song for my homegirl. And so I'm playing it throughout my house, and everybody's like, yo, this beat go crazy. So I'm just like, all right, let me like revisit it. And then, Man, I think I got like a spicy text. Somebody said like something about the son of Satan. It's talking about Geminis. And I was like, here we go.
Well,
I am evil.
well,
Tell me how you really feel.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And so I just kind of went into that pocket with my bandmates. We were just like, I could talk my way into sacred places. And I was just like, we finna just talk our trash once again.
That's an old school phrase too, silver tongue devil.
Yeah, all this oldness with me. I don't know.
I feel like
You have
that's
an
like
old
some
soul.
shit that old Jamaicans say.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hang out with like 40-year-olds.
Hey, we should hang
hang out
out.
with Talib.
Yeah, like that's just what it is.
Right.
They be saying things like flim flam.
Flim flam.
and you know 40 is like the new 80s, so that's
Yeah,
really
that's true.
old.
40 to new
High
80.
key. Like I was watching Super Bowl and I was like, yo, everybody on stage was like 50 plus.
That's right.
Moving.
Look how we doing.
Okay, wait.
Look what
I
we
was
doing.
like, that's cool.
Talib's not gonna like this
Ooh,
Please, let's hear it.
get him.
because every time. So somebody posted a meme of all of them standing together, and it said, "You can find me in the club, bottle full of Tums," and I was like, "Oh."
I would have liked to see that one.
I love old people.
I appreciate a good meme.
Some of my favorite people are old.
Jesus Christ. Listen, Jasmine, your
Are they not?
proximity to old people does not prove that you don't like old people. Check your privilege.
I stand corrected. Let's carry on.
Yeah, what was the question?
Polygamy.
You answered it.
Let's talk about polygamy.
All right.
You have a record called Polygamy.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous piece of music. I want to believe that that's what a polygamous sexual experience sounds like.
What?
I see where you're going.
Yeah. So,
You're like, how was your first threesome? Is that what you're saying?
well, I do want to know.
Sips tea.
I do want to know your
16.
thoughts on the mainstreaming of the polyamory community.
I think most of my knowledge of it comes from the Red Table Talk.
Ah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would watch a lot of episodes of that just to hear perspectives. They'd have guests come on with different situations. And I was just curious about what's that for them? Like, how is that working for you? So I think the song is just the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if this isn't working, would this work? Because communication was the issue with a lot of relationships. And I feel like when it's open like that, then you get that communication that you were lacking.
Yes.
So it's just a discussion. It wasn't like a decision or like, yo, I got like the whole setup right here. But I feel like it's more so opening that conversation. Like, okay, let's talk about this monogamy that seems to not be working so smooth. What can we do? Do we just attack the lack of trust and community, or like, look at that? Or do we go somewhere else?
Now, what I will say for those of you who want to practice polygamy,
Can't even say
I
it.
feel like
You said, "Papa, I don't want to."
listen, Masego, don't listen. I got my bracelet on for a reason, so don't try me. Make sure you have some money, because you can't be having multiple wives if you can't take care of these women. So these men are like, yeah, I'm gonna be a polygamist, and it's like you can't even pay for your woman.
I do notice that sometimes the brokest niggas be the first one to talk about I'm a polygamist. All the women in the
We
room.
got women in the studio because it be just me. It be just me and Deani.
Yo, she is tired of broke niggas.
I'm tired of niggas, period. But we know.
We know.
Get your money up.
I mentioned, get your money up. If you want to have multiple women's, and that goes both ways, by the way.
Uh-oh.
How many women are having multiple men? And why are women taking care of these men? But that's
Polyamory
another
is a
day.
community.
I'm gonna let you take this one.
Polyamory is a community.
He knows.
I have a lot of friends in the polyamory community.
Yeah.
But what she knows.
Oh, wait a minute. And you said I was a cop, but here you are putting other people's business in the street.
No, that's not my business.
Oh.
I do have a lot of polyamorous friends.
Yeah, see, yeah. And jealousy is a natural human emotion.
It is.
Yeah.
But those people will tell you that they have like to believe and like to practice. Those people, they like to, we've evolved past the whole, it's like if you're you could get jealous, but you just gotta be like, you gotta be honest with it. You know what? I'm jealous. You just gotta say it. I mentioned Alex Isley earlier. And I think the first time I heard of her was her work with Terrace Martin.
Word.
But the song Good and Plenty that she got with Jack Don, and there's a remix that's crazy.
Yeah, with Lucky in there.
Yeah, Lucky Day. That song and the remix, it's like, it's rare that I like a song and a remix equally. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that way about Mystery Lady in the remix. I'm just like,
I like the remix to that too.
they both come on.
I like the remix to that too. And
Alex
that's the one
Cole.
Don Toliver.
Yeah, wait, Don Toliver. Yeah, that's for Mystery Lady. Yeah, Good and Plenty was me,
Don
Jack,
Toliver,
and
tell me
Alex.
about working on that Good and Plenty song, because that's when I talk about how you were my gateway to a bunch of other artists. That was one of those records.
Well, Alex Isley was my gateway to Jack Dine.
Okay.
I was like, who made these records? Like, you sound amazing on these. And I think Alex just challenges my pen because she can write very well. Like, she really is in tune with love, and like, I believe her with everything she says. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went through it, she's feeling that. And yeah, Jack is making these very complex, jazzy, thoughtful chords, and Alex is just doing what Alex does, making amazing music. So I just use it as a challenge to belong on the song. I was like, I want to make sure I belong on here because, I mean, you really be penning some songs.
Yeah.
So I just approached it like that. I was like, this is great. I took my time writing that one, and we kept it real visual. And she wanted to kind of get a little bit out of the just sweet love and kind of get a little bit more saucy. And so she got to talk a little bit about, you know, the bedroom and like nightlife with that one. And I think it was a cool, equal beneficial thing.
Yeah, such a beautiful song. I forgot to mention, we were talking about Tadow, that when I was actually came to LA to do this interview with you, and I was at the hotel, like a beautiful black couple came to chill at the pool.
Cool.
And they put up their speaker, and Tadow was the first song they played. And then I watched the dude explain to his girl why he likes the song.
That's
and
cool.
I was like, this is divine providence right here. They maybe hit the hip hop fans, maybe they're not, but they don't even know that I'm about to go see this guy and talk to him about this moment.
That's really cool.
You know what I'm saying? If they watch the podcast, hopefully, shout out to y'all.
I was eavesdropping on your conversation.
I was like this.
Some advice about your relationship.
Hey.
Judas and the Black Messiah is such an amazing project and movie. You got to work on the soundtrack with two of my favorite artists, or two people who I think are the best MCs working right now. This motherfucker, JID, what the fuck? Like, the shit this man does with a pen and with his voice and with the JID is like unstoppable. And then you got Rhapsody coming in. Like, man, describe that song.
That was cool. So the producer, Wu-10, W-U-10, that's the guy that I was in Alabama with. So his production made me approach the song that way. Because, I mean, the moment I heard the beat, it felt like it belonged in that movie. So first it starts with that hook, and then I'm talking about how, since I wear so many Nigerian clothes, how I was feeling a way about my lack of involvement in what they had going on with the SARS and everything. So I just started to educate myself, talking to my friends and, you know, doing that. And then it kind of got into Jid's hands, and he's talking about what's happening in the world at the time. It was just a lot of emotion, and just the world was just in a stupor. And I feel like I didn't think Rhapsody was going to get on it, because I was just like, I never think someone at her caliber would work with me, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like very surprised, happily surprised, because she crushed it as well. So I don't know. It was just a matter of shooting the music out to them in faith and them coming back with some heat. And yeah, both of them are just ridiculous with words.
Yeah, man, it's been such a pleasure for me to talk to you about all of these songs. What I like about doing this interview with you is that your story is really about the music. There's nothing that is like, I'm not trying to ask you about no drama. There's none of that. Everything that I wanted to know about you and everything that I wanted to talk to you about can be found in your catalog, in the songs. And me as an artist, as a working artist, I appreciate that.
That's cool.
Yes, it is cool.
What's next for Masego?
Two things. I make black animations. So this is what I'm wearing on my chest.
That's really dope.
Thank you.
When you said, yeah, that's dope.
I know someone who does cartoons.
When you said you wear a lot of Nigerian clothes, I was like, that's Nigerian? Whoa.
I mean, that's a Nigerian man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just want to see it some more places. Like, I got hyped when Soul came out. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best that black people looked in animation form. So
Soul is a beautiful movie.
Shout out to Questlove and Donnell Rollins and everybody else who was involved in that.
a lot. So I mean, yeah, I'm super into that. There's a lot to say about the nerdy black stuff, but I feel like that I'm purchasing a bunch of houses and turn them into studios called Tadow Studios, and I'm really big in that little NFT crypto world where I'm just educating black people to like participate in that. and win with it. Not the Bored Ape, not the get rich quick, just community. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like uniting my communities, putting them in these studios, hosting jam sessions, selling the audio and putting that money back in musicians and creators' pockets. Because I got enough bread. So it's like, let's get y'all paid since we know it takes a long time to get paid for music industry songs. So I'm focused on that. The album got done in Alabama, so that's easy. I make songs mad quick. I think it's just a matter of making sure the videos have good cinematography.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for putting me on to Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, I told you about that?
No, I heard you talking about it, and I went and checked it out. I used to watch anime back in the day.
Yeah.
I stopped watching it when I started having a career, but now anime is just so... It's real.
Y'all were watching anime porn.
No, I wasn't watching anime porn. No.
She thought of hentai immediately.
Immediately.
Yo,
Get
what's
your mind out
going
the gutter.
on?
Okay, they were looking at anime scantily clad women.
Who was?
I'm not gonna call his name out.
Who are those
Not me.
people?
You weren't. It wasn't your phone, but you were standing there.
I don't even remember this. What was this?
It
What's
was Theo.
going on?
And he showed it was. I don't know if it was Marge Simpson or somebody. It was anime, and she.
Whoa.
Y'all remember this?
We gotta define
Whoa.
anime.
I'm not being shy.
What's
Y'all
because we
was
got to
looking at
find
naked-
anime.
Yeah, what's happening?
Marcus,
You were looking at videos of Marge Simpson fucking? What?
You were there. You were all there except for Masego. They were all there. I'm just kidding. No one was there. I'm not the feds, but still, it happened.
So anyway,
What was the question?
I don't know. I just want to mention that I've been watching Hunter x Hunter lately
I
because
think it's a good animation of great storytelling and writing without scantily clad women. It inspired a lot of music, and I don't watch hentai. I like
me neither. Save that for those incels.
me neither.
Ladies and gentlemen, the People's Party is proud to have Masego. Thank you, brother.
Oh my God.